fairy tales, here comes Monday, after Michael Bond. Chapter 1. A Strange Balloon. This is Mr. Peck, a mouse. This is Mrs. Peck, a mouse. They have 12 children. Here they are. And this is their grandfather. They live in a wardrobe. It is their house. It is morning. Mr. Peck is sitting near the window. He looks out of the window and sees a strange balloon. He says to Mrs. Peck, "I see a strange balloon. Please look at it. What do you think it is?" Mrs. Peck looks at the strange balloon and says, "Yes, it's a very strange red balloon, but I don't know what it is. Let's ask Grandfather." Chapter 2. Grandfather Gets the Balloon. Mr. Peck and Mrs. Peck come up to Grandfather and say, "There is a very strange balloon in the sky. What do you think it is?" "It's a big red balloon," says Grandfather. "Yes, it's a big red balloon," says Mr. Peck. "Oh, yes, it's a big red balloon," says Mrs. Peck. "Oh, yes, 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 it's a nice big red balloon," say the 12 little children. "But it's a strange balloon," says Mr. Peck. "It has a bag." "What is there in the bag, I wonder?" says Mrs. Peck. "Oh, what is there in the bag, we wonder?" say the 12 little children.
"Let's get the balloon," says Grandfather. "Oh, yes, let's get the balloon," say the 12 little children.
"One for all," says Grandfather. "All for one," say the 12 little children. "Now, please help me," says Grandfather to the 12 little children. "Give me my umbrella." The children give their grandfather his umbrella. There is a big table near the window. Grandfather jumps on the table. Then he looks out of the window and gets the balloon with his umbrella. The children are very glad. They say to their grandfather, "Thank you very much. Now we have a new nice red balloon." "Shh," says Grandfather. "Look at the bag. There is something in the bag." Chapter 3. There is somebody in the bag. They all come up to the balloon. Grandfather looks into the bag and says, "It's not something, it's somebody." There is a strange little mouse in the bag. Mrs. Peck looks at the mouse and says, "Poor thing, he's not well. Let's put him on the sofa." "All right, let's," says Mr. Peck. He takes the strange little mouse and puts him on the sofa. Where am I?" asks the strange little mouse. "You are with friends," says Grandfather. "Yes, you are with friends," say the 12 little children. "What's your name?" asks Mrs. Peck. 11, says the strange little mouse. 11? But that isn't a name. It's a number, says Mrs. Peck. We don't have names in the house where I live. We have numbers there. I don't like it there. It's so cold in our house. We don't have bread, corn, fruit, or vegetables to eat. We are often hungry there. And what about your family? Asks Mrs. Peck. I don't have a family, says the strange little mouse. No family? Says Mrs. Peck. No family, says Mr. Peck. No family, says Grandfather. No family, say the 12 little children. Poor thing, says Mrs. Peck. Poor thing, says Mr. Peck. Poor, poor thing, say the 12 little children. Chapter 4. The Strange Mouse Gets a New Family. Poor thing, you can come and live with us. That is, if you want to live in a wardrobe. Sometimes you can help me about the house, says Mrs. Peck. Yes, you can come and live with us. You can help me in the garden, says Mr. Peck. In summer and in autumn we work in the garden. We pick fruits and vegetables, apples and pears, grapes and plums, cucumbers and tomatoes. And in winter we eat them. They are very tasty, says Grandfather. Please come and live with us, say the 12 little children. We like you very much. You can play with us. Thank you very much. I want to live in your house. Your wardrobe is a very warm and large flat. I like it here. And you all are very nice and kind mice. But if you want to live in our house, you must have a name, not a number. And your name must begin with M, says Mrs. Peck. Yes, your name must begin with M, say the 12 little mice. Our names begin with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So your name must begin with M. Oh, I'm so glad to have the 13th child in my family, says Mrs. Peck. But what about your name? I can't think of a name that begins with M. Let's all think of a name that begins with M. I'm very sorry, but I can't think of a name that begins with M, says Mr. Peck. We are very sorry too, say the 12 little mice, but we can't think of a name that begins with M. They all think and think, but they can't think of a name that begins with M. Chapter 5. The Strange Mouse Gets a Name. Grandfather, who is sitting in the armchair, says, "It's Monday today, isn't it? The poor thing has come to our house on Monday, so Monday is his name." "That's a good idea," says Mr. Peck. "Yes, it's a very good idea," says Mrs. Peck. "Oh, how clever you are, Grandfather," say the 12 little mice. "You are right. He has come on Monday, so his name must be Monday. It's a very nice name." "And do you like the name?" Grandfather asks the little mouse. Certainly, I like the name. I like the house, and I like my new 12 little brothers and sisters. They are good friends. I can play with them. I can help them, and they can help me. One for all, says Monday. All for one, say the 12 little mice.